In today's video, we're going to take a look at some Queen Charge Hybrid and Queen Charge Minor raids that still somehow triple even though they don't go according to plan. Let's get into it. What is up, everybody? It is JGGorange here, and welcome to another Clash of Clans video. Today, we're going to take a look at the Town Hall 11 Queen Charge into the Hybrid. We're going to be going over 5 attacks today, 2 of which plans are going correct, 3 of which plans are not going the way the attacker anticipated, however, still picks up the 3 stars. So we're going to jump straight into it here with Unbreakable War versus TWOF. This was in the WCL Royal Challenge. Huge shout out to both clans for letting me use these replays. So let's get straight into the raid here, and I'm going to go ahead and pause it really quickly to kind of break down why this attacker is going in with a Queen Charge starting at about 6 o'clock on this base here. So let's go ahead and pause it right here. Notice the Queen Charge entrance here. He has a jump spell, so he's going to be using that jump spell over the Town Hall, and that's going to allow his queen to step up and grab an Inferno Tower, the 3 Expos, as well as getting the queen and eventually the Clan Castle as he moves through here. So setting the funnel with the Baby Dragon and the Barbarian King over at about 6:15-ish, Baby Dragon over at about 5:15. Or at 5:45, and the queen's going to jump straight in here towards this multi-target Inferno. She's going to take that down and then move in towards the Expos. Now, these 3 Expos are going to be a bit of a problem for this queen. However, with the healers behind her, with the Rage spell, she'll be able to get through these with absolutely no issues here, and that'll force the queen into the compartment with those 2 Expos and eventually the queen. The Clan Castle will get lured out as soon as the queen wanders into that compartment. It is going to be a Baby Dragon, Dragon, and Loon, so not the end of the world here. He's going to be able to deal with that fairly straightforward, and you can kind of see the funnel being slowly developed here for the miners. King went up a bit north here, taking down a couple of buildings, and now we've got the siege barracks in at about 9 o'clock, and that's going to allow for that P.E.K.K.A. to really step up here and set an even tighter funnel for these miners and hogs to move in from about this 9 to 7 o'clock side here. So we're going to go ahead and pause one more time here, and you can notice where the miners and hogs are going to be going in, and you can kind of see the path that he's developed. He's used the queen to take out the entire right side of the base here by about 6 to 3 o'clock, and so that's going to allow all of the miners to get forced straight into the 7 to 9 o'clock side and then funnel through the rest of this base. And he's also going to be able to grab the eagle right off the bat. So let's go ahead and resume the play here. Queen will start beating on a couple of walls, and at this point the queen has done her job. So now all of the extra buildings she gets after this is simply just extra value out of the queen. He got what he wanted with her, and she's actually going to stay alive throughout the duration of this raid miraculously. I don't know how she didn't go down with all the DPS that was on her. Warden ability was used early because the key with this Warden ability here is using it not so late in the raid, because you want to be using it whenever the most troops will be affected. So before dropping that first heal spell, why not use that Warden ability to protect more miners and hogs going into the base? So again, queen got a ton of value here, and now the miners and hogs are just sweeping through this base. Again, that P.E.K.K.A. and a couple of wizards creating a really nice funnel on the left side of this base here. And this attacker is going to get it done. Absolutely flying colors, no issues here. Excellent plan, and got a ton of value with that Queen Charge. And really, the hogs and miners were able to just sweep through this base. Really good funnel, really good Queen Charge, and fantastic execution here. So this is an example of one of the raids that actually went according to plan. So now we're going to go ahead and take a look at a second raid here that also went to plan using the same exact attack strategy. All right, let's take a look at our second raid here. We have Shockwave from Unbreakable War going in. Let's see what he can do with this Queen Charge hybrid strategy. So going in from about the same entry point here as the last raid. However, you're going to see that he's going to get a bit of different value here from this Queen Charge. So I'm going to go ahead and pause it really quickly here so you guys can kind of see where he's thinking of going in here. He has a jump spell, so he's going to want to jump the queen straight into that Eagle Artillery compartment here. And what that's going to allow the queen to do is grab the Eagle Artillery, an Expo, the Clan Castle, and as well as set a really nice funnel for these miners that will go in eventually later in the raid. So going to go ahead and get moving here. This queen will take down a couple of buildings. You've got the king on the left side. You've got the Baby Dragon on the right, creating the funnel. Here goes the jump spell straight in towards that eagle compartment. He wants that eagle out of the way as soon as possible. So with the Queen Charge hybrid, the main key buildings you want to be looking for to take down with the queen would be things like the eagle, an Expo, an Inferno Tower, the queen, the enemy Clan Castle. Buildings like that would be really detrimental to the raid here. So queen, absolutely no issues here, not having to use a rage spell or anything. She's going to be able to get through a couple of these buildings with ease here, and eventually she's going to encounter the clan castle and the barbarian king all at once. So she's going to, the attacker's actually going to be able to use a poison here over the king and the clan castle here, which is really good value of that poison, and that's going to allow the queen to be able to get through these this enemy king and the clan castle fairly easy here. The ice golem actually peeled off to the left side here towards the king, so the king's going to be able to deal with him, and the queen will slowly be going through the space. So air defense does target one of the healers, not ideal here. However, he's still moving through. Now you can see the siege barracks up at about the 3 o'clock side, and that's going to start creating a bit of a tight funnel here, and you can kind of see where these miners are set to come in from, and that would be from the about 3 to 4 o'clock side straight into that multi-target inferno once the funnel is established here. So he wants to get it out of the way so that way he can protect those healers as long as possible. Sends in the miners early. Sadly, all of the healers do go down, and you can kind of see the funnel has been established. It's not the strongest funnel in the world. However, he's still moving through here, and it's looking okay. Here come the hogs from the siege barracks, maxed out hog riders. They're going to be moving in with the rest of the army here. He's going to actually hold the warden ability because he wants to be using it either over the queen or when he has all of those hog riders from the siege barracks also incorporated in that ability. So you're going to see this warden ability used a bit later in this raid, which is not ideal. However, some instances it's better to wait a little bit longer. It's all dependent on which way you're hitting the base and what defenses you're encountering first here. So miners are still moving through, a couple of the hog riders moving to the outside here. Now the real worry near the back side of this base was that the miners would kind of peel off here. Again, the warden ability was held a little bit too much on this raid. However, not the end of the world, as these hog riders are going to move into this multi-target inferno under the Grand Warden's ability here, and that's going to cause them to take it down and wrap up another triple with this attack strategy. So really the key bases you should be looking for when using this attack strategy are going to be your anti 3-star bases. Those are the main bases you're going to want to take down. If you've got an anti 2-star, this might not be the most viable strategy to use. However, it still can work on anti 2-star bases. So let's go ahead and get into our third raid here, in which the plan goes absolutely horrifically wrong, but the attacker is still able to recover and adjust. All right, let's take a look at our third raid here. We have Maverick going in from Unbreakable War. Let's see what he can do here. I just want to give a shout out to Unbreakable War for letting me share these replays. They're the clan that I partnered with in order to make this video. If you want more information about them, you'll find it all in the description. I highly recommend you check them out. Awesome group of people. So he's got 2 baby dragons starting from about the 9 to 10 o'clock side. They're going to funnel a little bit of that side as well as take down the town hall. He's got a P.E.K.K.A. up top to clear a bit more as well. And here comes the queen. Now, the main goal for this raid, I'm going to go ahead and pause it right here. The main goal for this raid is to jump the queen into those 2 Inferno towers and take them both down. But you'll kind of see what ends up happening here once the queen slowly moves through here. So I'm going to go ahead and play it again. Queen's going to be able to take down a couple of these cannons here and eventually take down the air defense. And here's the jump spell is going to come in shortly after. Now, the big issue here, I'm going to pause it right now just really quickly. Notice the pathing for these buildings at this very moment. Right now, the cannon, the builder hut, and the other cannon are still standing. Once this queen takes down this cannon, the closest building to her will not be those 2 Inferno towers, but rather the builder hut on the left side. Had that builder hut gone down, she would have taken this jump and moved into the base. But we'll go ahead and resume in here, and you'll kind of see what ends up happening. And as predicted, the queen does go for the builder hut, and then after that, the closest building is the cannon, and she's going to completely ignore this jump spell, which is not good for this attacker. However, it's not the end of the world. The attacker's taken a deep breath, and he's ready to move in and adapt to this unfortunate pathing issue from this queen here. So the queen's actually going to be able to take down that archer tower and eventually start shooting a wall. So he's made an adjustment here. He started the siege barracks from about the 6 o'clock side here to get that P.E.K.K.A. in with the barbarians there to create a bit tighter of a funnel to send in the miners directly in towards the eagle from about the 6 to 7 o'clock side here. So he's going to rage the queen, keep her moving. He's lost almost all of his healers. However, he wanted to get that extra Inferno tower with the queen, and he gets it. Now this queen is barely hanging on for dear life here as the miners and hogs move in, and he's going to actually eventually use the ability, and that's going to get him through that eagle artillery compartment there. Luckily, there was a lava hound inside of the CC there, which is really helpful for him. He's going to keep moving through here, though. That queen is now pretty much safe over on the left side there, and she's going to slowly get healed back to full health. And here go all of the miners and hogs through this base here. And notice that queen, she's still alive. She's going to be super important near the end of this raid. Still moving through. Warden ability has not been used, saving it for the end of the raid. Again, I'm not entirely sure as to why they saved it. Typically, it's more ideal to use it in the beginning when you're affecting more troops, but it's to each his own. We'll see. Here goes the Warden ability to activate as the miners start to spread out here across these defenses, and the queen is going to be pretty much MVP of this raid. Not only is he still going to get both Inferno Towers with the Queen's also going to stay up the entirety of this raid. Heal spell used a bit in what's the word for it? In preparation for the miners moving in here, and he's actually going to triple this base even with swagging a jump spell. So really fantastic attack here by Miner and by Maverick, and showing how the Queen Charge hybrid really in these kinds of raids, if things go wrong, you can adapt and you can still triple, you know, in the event your plan goes, you know, to crap, and you'll be just perfectly fine. It works. So let's go ahead and get into our second raid, in which we really saw the plan kind of fall apart here at the beginning, but still the attacker was able to come in and recover with this attack strategy. All right, so now we're getting into the final raid of this video, and yeah, again, another plan that really goes south, but still comes through for the attacker to get it done. So some really fantastic stuff. Going to start here with an E-Dragon up by about the 12 o'clock side here, and then he's going to get the Queen moving in at about the, that's roughly the 10 o'clock, 11 o'clock side. And so she's going to move in here, and his main goal with this Queen Charge is to jump the Queen over that Wizard Tower straight in towards the Eagle. So that E-Dragon getting a ton of chain value there, and really setting a nice funnel for this Queen moving into the base here. And now notice, once the Queen steps up to these buildings, all of the buildings on the second layer of walls can be shot by this Queen. So this jump spell was not needed in order to reach those. However, he wants it there to get the Eagle. So the Queen is going to step up here. She's eventually going to take down the Elixir Storage and then move in towards the Archer Tower and Wizard Tower and start shooting those and take them down. Here comes the CC from the enemy clan castle here. So he's going to drop a Rage and a Poison to get through that very swiftly here. But notice, once this CC goes down, the closest building will not be that air sweeper or the air defense. It's going to be that gold mine. So she's going to move to the gold mine, move to the air defense, and then she's going to completely ignore that jump spell, leaving the Eagle alive for, you know, the rest of the raid until the miners and hogs get there. So here comes the siege barracks from about the 2 o'clock side, a bit of an adaptation of the plan here, because he wants to send those miners in directly towards that Inferno Tower in order to take it down, to get it out of the raid as soon as possible. So this Queen and King will now be moving along the bottom side here together, clearing through a couple of buildings and really taking care of some of the trash out of the way for when the miners and hogs get to the back end here. So here come all the miners in from the 12 o'clock side. He's got that little small established funnel from the siege barracks up at the top. All the miners have gone in, all the hogs have gone in. Here comes the Warden. He's going to drop an early heal to keep everything moving. And he's going to drop the Grand Warden Eternal Tome over an Eagle Blast here to get things moving and get everything going the way he wants to. So the Queen, again, still coasting on the bottom side. She's going to get targeted by those Expos there and eventually have to use her ability. However, he's going to use that Rage Spell in the core where he needs it most to really push these miners and hogs through the core of this base to the back end with the 2 Expos and Wizard and Inferno Tower, and they're going to take it down, and he's going to absolutely crush the back end of this base. So even with swagging a jump spell, this attack strategy is still able to go in and get the triple. But yeah, that's going to do it for me for this video. Thank you guys so much for watching. I really do appreciate it. If you are looking to use this attack strategy, again, my recommendation would be using this on anti-3-star bases and really practice this attack strategy. Doing Queen Charges, especially at Town Hall 11 and higher, is very difficult, and you know, you need a lot of practice in order to get good at it. But if you're looking for a killer strategy, this is the one to practice for taking down those anti-3-star bases. So yeah, that's going to do it for me. Thank you guys so much for watching, and I'll see you guys later. See ya.